So in this session, we're going to be discussing what kind of access a user should have in order for them to be able to access the Junction Object Records. So this one says if the record has two master records in many-to-many relationship, the user must have read access to both master records in order to access the child record in the Junction Object. So for now, what we are doing is we have this data model. This is a Junction Object and two parent objects in this master detail relationships. And what we also do is in this application, if we check these two master detail relationship fields, we see that, for example, we are requiring read-write access to position object record to for the user to be able to have create, edit, or delete access to the detail record. Similarly, we're doing the same configuration for the candidate object as well. We're saying user has to have read-write access to the candidate object, which is the master side, so that the user can create, edit, or delete the related detail record. And currently what we have is the OWD for candidate is set to private, and OWD for position is set to private, and the user's profile has create, edit, read access to all three objects: position object, application object, and also the candidate object. In this scenario, so I'm going to, we're sharing some candidate records with our test user. For example, I have shared this candidate record with our test user by this manual sharing rule. So to this candidate, I'm giving read-write access, right? And this candidate has related application, and this application has another parent, which is sfdev position. And I'm going to share this record with our test user as well, and also going to give read-write access, okay, and save. So just to summarize, what we're doing is we have this application record. It has two parents, the position and candidate. We're sharing both the position and the candidate record with our test user. And then we will see as a test user what kind of access we get to the related record, okay? So the dev position was shared, and also the related candidate was shared with our test user. I'm going to open this position and go to the related record. Okay, let's click on this related record and try to edit this. I'm able to successfully edit this record. Then what I'm going to do is, as an admin user, I will change the sharing rule for this position record. Okay, let's click here and remove the sharing rule. Let's edit this, and then what we're doing is we're giving read-only access to this position record and save. We're going to go again as a test user, and then we will try to edit this same record. And now I'm facing an error. So why is that? The reason is when we were configuring that master detail relationship for the candidate and also for the position, we said that the user must have read-write access to candidate object record and also read-write access to the position object record, so that the user can have read-write access to the related application object record. In this scenario, we are giving the read-write access to the candidate, but we only gave read access to the position record. And that's why our test user is not able to edit the related application record. So in a Junction data model that uses master detail relationship, a user has to have a read-write access to the position and read-write access to the candidate so that they could edit the related application record, provided if we have gone with this sharing setting. If on that master detail fields, we have said we need read-write access, okay? Now, for our test user to be able to edit that application record, what I have to do is I have to either change this, okay? Or I have to, when I share the parent records, I have to make sure I always give the read-write access, not read-only, okay? Now I'm going to change this, for example. Let's change this to read-only and save, okay? I have switched that to read-only for position. And now I'm going to go and test it. So we have this Mike Phillips candidate that we shared. And for Mike Phillips, what kind of access we're given? Let's check that. For Mike Phillips, we're giving read-write. But for the other position record, we are only giving read-only, okay? Now, as a test user, I'm going to edit this junction object record and save. Now I'm able to save this record. So why is that? That is because we're saying a user can have read-only access to position object, and a user can have or should have read-write access to the candidate object record so that they can edit the junction object record, okay? So we could take it one step further, and I could change this to read-only as well. Okay, let me require this access to the candidate object record and then save this. So what's going to happen now is if I go ahead and find my candidate record, which is this one, and share this, okay, sharing setting. Let's edit this and let's set that to read only. And now I'm going to update this application record as a test user, set this to medium. And now I can save this as well. Even though when I'm sharing this Mike Phillips record with our test user, I define only read-only access to it, right? Read-only access. And because of this configuration for the position object record and also the candidate object record, we're only requiring read-only access to those two parent records so that the user can edit the related junction object record. So if, for example, one access is missing, then the user will not be able to edit the junction object record. For example, in this scenario, the test user has to have at least read-only access to the parent records, to this parent record, so that they can edit the application object record. Let's say I remove access to the candidate record, okay? I'm gonna go to the sharing setting and I will stop sharing this record with our test user, okay? Save this. Now our test user doesn't have even the read access to the candidate object record. And if I go as a test user here and refresh, you see now I lost access to that previous application record. That's because the test user no longer has access to the candidate object record. So the rule is, this is the rule: if record has two master records in a many-to-many relationship, the user must have read access to both master records in order to access the child object records, okay? In order to read the child object, in order to access the child object record, okay? But if you are saying in your application, when you are building that master detail relationship, if you set this to read write, okay, read write to the one of the parent and read write for the other parent, that means the user must have read write access to both parent object records so that they can access the child, meaning the junction object record, and perform these operations. In a master detail relationship, when a user deletes a parent record that has related custom object records, all related custom object records are deleted regardless of whether the user has delete permission to the custom object, okay? So this is something we could discuss in and demo in another scenario or session, because I don't want to extend this one. So that's basically how it works. And as you know, as part of master detail relationship, when a parent record is deleted, child object is also deleted. So we're going to also explore that in this session. You might ask, okay, if we delete either parent record, would the child still be deleted or not? So we will explore those type of scenarios.